Am I the asshole for cheating on my husband with my coworker? Many people in my life had said I'm wrong for this, so I wanted others' opinions. I 30F have been married to my husband, let's call him Damien, 32 meters, for 7 years. Our marriage wasn't like most people I know. We only got married because he got me pregnant and needed to step up as the father. We met each other in college and we started off as friends, but eventually I started developing feelings for him. He was dating a girl at the time and they would argue a lot. Every time they would argue, Damien would come to me for comfort. I didn't mind because the person I liked relied on me. One night they broke up and he got me pregnant. Although it was pretty clear he didn't love me and didn't want a child by me, he stepped up and married me. My husband was getting his PhD and was working in the hospital, so money wasn't an issue. Because of the baby I had to drop out of college, and once I was able to work I decided to apply as a kindergarten teacher, although my husband didn't think it was necessary. Our marriage was unhappy. We never made love after I had my son and it was constant arguing. He would belittle me and remind me how I was just a pick-me-up. I want to also add that I'm vegan, and ever since I married him I had to quit because he didn't want to eat a salad for dinner every day. While working at the elementary school I met a friend, I'll call him Brandon. Brandon was the kindest person I've ever met. He would check up on me to make sure I'm okay. We'd go on picnics together with our kids. He has one daughter, and since we were both vegan he'd give me some vegan recipes. Brandon made me feel true happiness, unlike my husband, and I was starting to fall in love with him. One day we were eating brunch and he admitted to having feelings for me. I told him I liked him too, but admittedly couldn't leave my husband considering he overpowers me financially. Brandon said that he didn't care and still loved me and would start hooking up after that. One night me and Damien did the nasty for once and I got pregnant. I wasn't happy but he was overjoyed. I felt guilty because I realized how much of a shit partner he was and fell out of love with him. I admitted to him I cheated on him out of guilt, and of course he wanted a divorce. He was angry even though he's never shown any love to me. He also didn't believe the baby was his and understandably asked for a DNA test once the baby was born. We had gotten a divorce and Brandon had let me move in with him and his daughter. Given Damien's wealth, the courts gave him full custody of our son and I had visitation. Once my daughter was born we got the DNA test and Damien found out she was his. He also demanded custody of her, but I just gave him visitation. Now that my life has settled down I decided to tell my friends and family about this and they all called me the toxic. So am I the asshole? Update. So I've been reading your guys' comments and the majority of you have been saying I'm toxic. Reading the replies, a part of me feels even more guilt because instead of just filing for a divorce or talking with Damien I decided to sleep with someone else. But another part of me doesn't regret it. Brandon and I have been talking and he's helped me through this situation. I don't regret falling in love with Brandon. I don't regret cheating. What I do regret is still sleeping with my husband while sleeping with Brandon. I became selfish and continued staying with Damien because he makes more money than me, and because of that I've brought my children into this drama. To clarify things for those who are calling this story fake or confused about some things, the reason I was able to get custody of our daughter but not our son is because we didn't go through the courts. Given that she was a newborn he agreed to let me keep her. And for people who are confused about how he works and was getting a PhD, a basic Google search would help you understand that he was working in the hospital while continuing his degree. And how did I become a teacher? Again, use basic common sense, and you guys have clearly never been through a custody battle considering you don't know how it works. I only decided to post my story on Reddit because I truly believe I did nothing wrong. People are saying it doesn't matter because I cheated. If you had the choice between struggling or living a good life, wouldn't you choose to live a good life? I was just a college student who was eating out of a hot pot and struggling to keep up with classes. Until I met Brandon I only wanted what was best for my son, a stable family, but once I met Brandon he made me see that I don't care about wealth, I just want to feel loved and happy. Given how all of your comments are, I don't think it'd matter how terrible of a husband Brandon is. You would have still put the blame on me because I cheated. I have already told too much to social media, so I won't dwell on what happened in between the marriage and the divorce. I'll start replying to comments instead of making another post. I have a baby and other things to worry about instead of arguing with people on Reddit.